Now at 6, a home fire in Jasper County, Missouri becomes a death investigation. Plus,
we hear from a local business about multiple break-ins into the store, and law enforcement gives tips how to prevent this from happening.
And details on a Missouri House vote to ban diversity funding. Also, Pitt State football hosts its NFL Pro Day. We're going to hear from players as they showcase their skills in front of NFL scouts.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Miami, Oklahoma business that just recently opened is already the target of crime twice. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Yana Hautala talked with the owner and law enforcement about incidents like this and how to prevent them.
This new business here in Miami, Oklahoma has not been open for very long, but has already had 2 break-ins within a month.
2:44 in the morning, I get the alarm notification, come to find out that this kid had threw a rock through my front door. And there's one that he threw through the door.
Barnes believes the suspect is a juvenile trying to get into vaping products. He's working with local law enforcement in both cases. He says the presence of cameras and alarm system helped both times.
That potentially is what caused him to only get one thing, is I think it spooked him both times, right? He breaks in the glass, that motion sensor trips, and the alarm starts screaming at him.
Miami's chief of police, Thomas Anderson, says the department's seen more burglaries committed by juveniles recently. He advises business owners to install good locks, barriers in front of windows, and add lighting. Cameras should also be directed to download to an off-site location.
We've had a couple burglars that have broken into buildings and they steal the DVR, so you lose that evidence. So if you have one that downloads elsewhere, very helpful to us.
Barnes hopes it doesn't come to the point he has to put bars on his windows.
It doesn't look welcoming, and I'm trying to change the entire atmosphere around vaping.
In Miami, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The police chief tells Yana officers identified a juvenile suspect in at least one of those cases. Charges are pending. A home fire investigation in Jasper County, Missouri turns into a death investigation. A little after 1 this morning, drivers along I-49 reported the fire just south of Baseline Boulevard, east of the interstate. When fire crews arrived at the burning home, the fire was too intense for them to enter, but neighbors said they believed a resident was in the home. Crews eventually found one person dead inside. There's no word yet on the cause of the fire or the name of the victim. Missouri House Republicans today voted to ban diversity spending in the state government. State representatives voted along mostly party lines in favor of a proposed $45 billion Missouri budget. It would block funding for staff, vendors, consultants, and programs, quote, associated with diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout state government and public colleges and universities. The proposal could have a tougher time when it goes to the GOP-led Senate. The Senate Appropriations Committee chairman said he plans to strip that language from the budget. A person found dead in 1984 was identified yesterday by investigators in Lincoln County, Missouri. It's part of a decades-long cold case. John Langenecker from Florissant went missing in March of 1982, and his car was found at Lambert Airport. His body wasn't found until 2 years later when it was discovered by a farmer, and now the remains have finally been identified thanks to a breakthrough in forensic DNA testing and analysis by anthropology students at Southeast Missouri State University in a private laboratory.
My students get experience. We get to help excellent agencies clear backlogs of cases, and of course, most importantly, we get to help bring answers to families who've been waiting far too long.
Langenecker died from a gunshot to the head. He did not have any form of identification on him, and authorities say his body had decomposed too much to be able to identify him when he was found. Investigators are now trying to piece together Langenecker's life to further the work on the cold case and figure out exactly how he died, whether someone killed him or at his own hand. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty with a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, we got some showers and thunderstorms which are working into the area. Some scattered strong ones as well. We've had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings out across Labette and Neosho County in Kansas. And then you can see this huge cluster all the way down through eastern parts of Oklahoma. But if we go ahead and zoom in, you can see one little storm just to the west of Girard, another one south of Parsons, north of Independence, over toward Coffeyville, and then really picking up once you get into Craig County and Miami. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. Most of these are going to stay just moderate to strong. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of severe weather, but it's going to get a little bit loud out there in spots as these showers and thunderstorms continue to push through. Most of us still sitting mid to upper 60s to near 70 degrees, very windy. We're going to have an alert day tomorrow due to very high winds. We're going to talk about thunderstorms and the winds here in just a bit.
See you soon. Pitt State is honoring one of its most distinguished alumni. The university today hosted a reception for this year's Distinguished Service Award recipient, Lindsey Young. Young graduated from Pitt State with a bachelor's degree in 2005, a master's degree in 2009. Since then, she's been a volunteer with the school, mentored students, and is a member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors.
I'm very, very humbled. I have been fortunate that I have received some other awards, but those awards involved me submitting applications or information. This one means a lot because there was no application. There's a group that decides who gets this award, and they selected me, and that's very humbling that they recognize the contributions that I've given to the college.
The reception was at Pitt State's Alumni Center. The Sperry Herbarium at Pitt State celebrated a huge milestone today. Freshman Elena Fulkerson had the honor of mounting the herbarium's 50,000th plant specimen. The herbarium was established in 1946 with 100 specimens and now includes representation from southeast Kansas and the region. It also includes nearly all U.S. states and 59 countries. A lot goes into making sure those plants are protected.
They need to be in like cooler temperatures so insects don't eat them, and that's why we have these cabinets. But a lot of our specimens in here are pretty old. We have some from like the early 1900s, and as long as they're kept in these safe conditions on like good paper and they were pressed nicely, they should basically last forever, unless if you're like roughhousing them.
Elena is a biology major with an emphasis in botany. The specimen is called a rock crest. It's from southern Idaho. Pitt State student Michael Daines is the one who found that specimen. Coming up, why a Joplin family looks to travel internationally for a World Cup bike race. Plus, Pitt State football standouts showcase their skills to NFL scouts at their pro day. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri has pledged its support for a young Joplin family as they prepare to embark on a journey to Japan for the Strider World Cup race. But with only a couple of months remaining until the big event, the family has to raise some money in order to cover travel and lodging expenses. KOAM Shagun Bamadelli has more.
2, 1, go!
3-year-old Silas McCain started riding a bicycle as early as he could walk.
His dad and I are both cyclists, so after he was born we kind of introduced him to bikes at a really early age, and he started riding about as soon as he could walk, and he just learned to love it.
Silas is selected as one of 10 representatives for Team USA in his age category. However, with only 2 months remaining until the big event, the family must raise $7,500 to cover travel and lodging expenses.
And so we are trying to raise funds to get him there for like flight and lodging and the registration fee and all of that.
After hearing Silas's story, the Alliance of Southwest Missouri decided to help the McCain family through a program called Full Potential.
The Alliance has agreed to match up to $500 to help Silas get to Osaka, Japan. So we're very excited for him to be able to compete on that international level and represent Team USA. And we're just so excited that we get to kind of put Full Potential's name on that, to get the name out there and let people know about this program that really does exist to help families.
Silas' parents are proud he will represent his family and country.
We're really excited for him. I mean, it's an experience for sure. I feel like it's a life-changing experience, maybe something that won't ever happen for him again. So it's super exciting as a parent just to watch him participate in something like this.
Again, that was Shagun Bamadelli reporting. The organization is calling on the community to make donations through the family's GoFundMe account to help Silas achieve his full potential. And you can find a link to that on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A little bit later, an interstate matchup between the Frontenac Raiders and Carl Junction Bulldogs. Highlights in sports.
Plus, we have showers and thunderstorms working through. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, a very mild and windy day for us today. In fact, the winds are going to pick up even more as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight into the daytime hours tomorrow. So we got a lot of color here on the map. In the red flag warnings. We have a dry line that's going to push through early afternoon, so our humidity is going to plummet. We're going to have winds gusting 50 upwards to 60. So here in the purple, this is all high wind warning. So this really goes into effect after midnight tonight. And that's when the winds really get going. Right now, we have scattered showers and thunderstorms working through. We've had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, Labette into Neosho County. Most of these guys are going to stay moderate to strong. We're not going to see much in the way of severe weather, but still we could get a few stronger storms. So you see them scattered southeastern Kansas, big cluster once you get into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So let's zoom in, take a little bit of a tour. So just north of Pitt, just north of Girard, a little guy. Little thunderstorm. Also, if we track a little farther toward the west, here's Chanute, so eastern parts of Wilson County and then down into Labette County, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Then it really picks up once you get into Oklahoma. Here's Craig County, and then just south of Miami, Fairland, Afton, a pretty good little thunderstorm, a strong thunderstorm. We can go a little bit farther to the south. Showers, thunderstorms increasing in parts of Delaware County as well. Now, these are moving north and east, so the heaviest rain is going to stay right along the I-44 corridor and south. So we are going to get some heavy rain as this pushes through Newton, McDonald, into Benton County, eventually Berry, and also Lawrence County, and even a little bit of Jasper County, even though Jasper County is on the northern edge. So this is the beginnings of our next storm system. Main upper level low still sitting out to the west. It rotates through tomorrow, and that's what's really going to increase the winds. Already today we've had southerly winds sustained 15 to 25, but gusts have been picking up 30, 35, pushing 40 at times, and these are going to increase more later on tonight. So secure anything, patio furniture, propane heaters like I need to do when I get home tonight. Look at the winds, 50 to 55 miles per hour for us later on tonight into Friday. A severe thunderstorm is 60 miles per hour, so these are very strong straight line winds which are going to rotate in. All right, through the evening, scattered showers and thunderstorms working through. I think we'll see a few more popping up late this evening, and then after midnight, pretty quiet until the morning. Then we get a scattered additional thunderstorms that work through. So here's 8 a.m. You can see them right along the Kansas-Missouri state line. We break out, we see sunshine as the dry line right here pushes through, warm into the 70s, but of course, very, very windy. We do have a severe threat tomorrow, mainly to our east. We're kind of right on the edge, but I'm not worried about severe weather for us. Central eastern Missouri, that's going to be the big target zone. Here's your day planner. Scattered thunderstorms in the morning, sunshine and wind during the afternoon with those temperatures warming into lower 70s again. Alert day tomorrow just due to anything over 40 miles per hour is extremely windy, and when you're going 50 to 60, it's even worse. Saturday looks good, a little bit chilly, 58, 71 Sunday. May get a shower in our southern counties. Isolated storm Monday. Look at our high, Monday and Tuesday, 80 degrees, but we do have a severe threat on Tuesday.
Talk about the importance of securing things like patio furniture tonight. I think it's more than likely some people are going to maybe lose some tree limbs.
It's possible, very possible.
Those are high winds. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, the Carl Junction baseball team hits the field for an interstate matchup against Frontenac. And 4 Pitt State football players get the chance to work out for NFL scouts at the team's annual Pro Day. Jacob Leonard has that and more coming up.
Well, the Frontenac Raiders opened the baseball season with a 4-2 win over the Nevada Tigers on Monday night. Tonight, the Raiders face another team from across the state line, hitting the road to face Carl Junction. The Bulldogs have already played 5 games. They're 2-3 coming into this one. Lucas Van Landuit, good early on the mound for Carl Junction. Gets a pair of strikeouts here in the first. This game scoreless after 1. Now in the second, Frontenac has runners on the corners. Bryant Kitchen draws the throw to second. That allows Mario Mangini to come in from third. Raiders have the first run of the day. The bottom half, look at this. Bryant Kitchen on in relief for the Raiders. Before he even throws his first pitch, picks the runner off at second. Now this one's still going, and it's a low-scoring game. It's 1-1 in the top of the 5th. Today is opening day for Major League Baseball. Both the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals are in action today, both playing at home to kick off their schedule. The Cardinals have an interleague series to start things off with a 3-game set against the Toronto Blue Jays. In Game 1 tonight, St. Louis leads 7-6 in the top of the 8th inning. Brendan Donovan is 3 for 5 in the game with a home run and a pair of RBIs. As for the Royals, they open their season, the series against AL Central rival Minnesota. In Game 1 this evening, Kansas City gets shut out 2-0. The Royals manage just 2 hits in the game. Pittsburgh State football hosts its NFL Pro Day today. It's a chance for Pitt State players and other players from around the region to work out in front of pro scouts and try to earn their spot in the league. And the Gorillas had 4 guys work out today for NFL scouts. Offensive lineman Corey Woodruff, defensive end Keandre Hall, and wide receivers Bryce Murphy and Mark Wheeland. Now Woodruff was a first-team All-MIAA selection and an All-American this season for Pitt State. Here he is on getting his chance today to show what he can do in front of NFL scouts.
I tested well. I moved well during the individual drills, so I just feel like I came out and I proved what the tape said. You know, I'm a big, I'm a fast, I'm an explosive guy, and I know how to play football. I just feel like it's destined. I feel like God put me on this earth to play football and to affect people playing football, so I'm just going to keep doing that however I got to do it.
And I feel like you have to show extra coming from a smaller school because they're kind of overlooked just placed on where you're at.
It's just good to be back out here and actually get to catch footballs, run routes with some of the guys watching, some of the crowd. So it's always fun to get out here and try to prove yourself your worth.
All I need is a foot in the door, and then I'll show up and go to work. So I'm just looking forward to hearing back from the teams, getting their feedback, and then just waiting on the call on draft day.
I was there this morning. All of them looked pretty good. And Corey Woodruff, for a big guy, the offensive lineman there, he does move really well.
Really? Of course, we've seen Pitt State, Missouri Southern players both in the NFL before, and it's exciting to watch. We'll be right back. A grand jury indicts former President Donald Trump. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office filed the indictment under seal, meaning we do not know the specific charges. But we're going to have the latest on the indictment tonight on KOAM News at 9 and Fox 14. Also at 9, police in Coffeyville, Kansas say they've arrested a suspect in the armed robbery of a Walmart. And Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh hosts an event to teach the community about ways to combat the effects of Parkinson's disease. Those stories, a lot more, coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A lot coming up weather-wise.
Yeah, showers, thunderstorms continue to work through over the next few hours. A few of these a little bit on the stronger side. Most of them are going to stay below severe limits. Alert day tomorrow for winds. We're going to have winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. We're going to have some morning thunderstorms, high temp of 74.
50 to 60 mile an
That's
hour
moving.
winds. Yes, it is. Final sports notes.
We got some local softball coming up tonight at 10. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons play their home opener against Chanute, so we'll have those highlights right here tonight.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We hope you join us on KOAM News at 10, and let's make it a great evening.